demand. I'm gonna stand and fight for what's right for my brother, man. This is war, even though I'm not a racist. I must do something so my kids won't have to face this. Teaching the classes, educating the masses. Words to be heard because they're kicking our asses. They ought to find something better to do instead of constantly fucking with the kick it up crew. Like changing the legislation, creating new occupation. Peace from nation to nation, joining the celebration. And leaving a dry bone, destroying the ozone. What nature has given, they ought to leave it alone. Praising man, yet denying the true king. This is a parliament, yes, it's forcing. You can tell a true brother by the way that he act or reacting when they attack. Because the crew is black.
Black popular demand. Black popular demand. Black popular demand. Black popular demand.
I'm not a good Samaritan, I'm an Afro-American. Facing hard times because my people were African. It's time for war, you know anything goes. No time to mingle as I produce the single. Let's talk a psycho babble, creating clones and laughs. My vocab is capital on those who need to be rehabbed. The light is shown, we've got a common crook. I took a look to see what's inside my black history book. Now the knowledge emerged and I'ma let it be heard. The enemy's aggravated and running scared. They call it espionage because the leaders at large. They can control the brothers so they'll sabotage. My name is on the most wanted list. I'm fighting for peace, I'm called a communist. Running me out of time, my knowledge is profound. My diction is muscle bound, the strength is my background.
Black popular demand. Black popular demand. Black popular demand. Black popular demand.
I am a work of art with the trademark of pure heart. The black is back, suckers on a whack attack. Games on a blade out, the features are laid out. These suckers I read about, the statement is food for thought. Taking a licking and still trying to keep ticking, but now courage is weakened from being poverty stricken. Now this is bullshit, a man have to live like this. We're up against the fence, it's time to kill the nonsense all. On the field we have a hell of a time. Now I draw the line, I'm fighting for what's mine. I'm telling the truth, and it's causing pandemonium. I'm standing up high on a podium. They say that I'm wrong, and it's me that they're hating. I know it's true to you that all hate comes from Satan. Send the devil rebels where they belong in Hades. We're fighting civil war still in the 80s.
What's good? 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 Hope all is well. I hope. And I say I hope. I hope all is well. Let me share this broadcast. Let me share the broadcast. Let me see. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. All right. I think that's good enough. All right. So I had a question. This particular question was based off of our current events and how things are changing. And when it comes to changes, are we changing history? Are we changing the way that things are going to be for the next so many years? I don't know if that's true or not. However, I'm trying to find out. Are we stuck here? Are we stuck in a place where we can't get out of? Have we settled for what the future is going to be? That's just a question. Are we stuck or are we settling for what the future is going to be? Can we work around our current situation? That's just a question. Can we work around our current situation? Can we work around that they're getting ready to cut out a lot of Black American history? They don't want it in the books. Well, they don't want it taught in the schools. And they don't want to celebrate the month of Black history as we know it at this moment. Okay, let me do this. Sorry. I got a brand new show for y'all tonight. Just be ready. I'm millions. So, my question is, are we stuck in this rut? Are we caught up in this is the way it's going to be? It's just a question. Are we caught there? Are we stuck there? Are we caught up in this is the way it's going to be from now on? I'm having an issue with the way that we handle our situations when it comes to our community. Our community is in what people would consider in shambles. I don't think it's as bad as they say it is. It just, we have a smaller community versus other groups that have a larger community. When you outnumbered, it always looked like the individuals with the lower number have all of the problems. But the problems are not just in our community. The problems are in other people's community. The problems are in the larger communities also. So we got to quit beating ourselves up about, so many problems in our community. We might be outnumbered 2-1, something like that, 2-1, 2.5 to 1. But we are not in the worst situation that we could be in. I think we are, as far as monetary, as a monetary situation, we are in a good predicament, because we generate a whole lot of money for this United States of America, and we are just not pulling our resources together. That's one of the issues that we have. We're not pulling our resources, and it looks like we're not doing well. I want to just say from my perspective that we are doing better than we think, or better than, when I say we, I mean I have to put myself in the all, or consider myself in the group. I can't leave me out when I say that y'all not doing well. I have to say we are not doing well, because the form of discrimination when it comes to how they group Black Americans, they put us all in one group. So it's not like you can go and be something different or be somebody different, because you will constantly be reminded of constantly be reminded of who you are, where you came from, and people will hold you to that. So I don't know. It just like I say, a lot of times it be things that's on my mind, and I have to get those things off. And so you can understand what's going on inside my head. Inside my head. Just saying. You can understand what's going on inside my head. Let me see. If you on YouTube, share the broadcast. Give me a thumbs up on YouTube, just to let me know that you out there. And I appreciate y'all holding me down on YouTube. I appreciate it. Okay. So okay, so anyway, I want to say just our community is not in as a better shape as we perceive it to be. We're not in a horrible position. If the numbers are right and the statistics are right, they tell us that we generate something like between 1.3 and 1.7 trillion dollars annually coming into the black community in America. So that would make us did they say something like the 8th largest nation? If we were a nation by ourselves, we are larger than Mexico. We are larger than a lot of these countries, including Russia, far as the amount of money that the black community in the United States bring in. They make us seem like we are in bad shape. We're not in bad shape. Yeah, the behavior may look a little screwed up. I seen something today where it said that what was it? It was a comparison between black Americans and white Americans, that we, far as food stamps or public aid, I think we have something like 16 million people that are on public assistance in the United States in the black community. We have, and then for white America, they said that there's something like 90 million, which that's like 30-some% of their population. And so what the comparison is that you trying to compare us to a group of people that have 216 million versus 48 million. So there's no comparison when it comes to who gets the most assistance when it comes to food stamps, public aid, and all of these things that when they talk about government assistance. So they get the most government assistance, but they make it seem as if we are the only ones that's getting government assistance, and that's not the truth. The problem that we have in our community is the unity and the way that we spend our money. Other than that, we'll be in a great position. You have, in most predominantly black communities, you don't have corporations that help rejuvenate those communities. Okay, so just hypothetically, we know what happened to East St. Louis. The packing houses moved out, stockyards, all that stuff moved out. You had we had one of the largest glass factories in America. We had aluminum ore. We were one of the largest producers of aluminum ore in America. We had the railroads, which were some of the most traveled or most used railroads in America, right here in East St. Louis, right in East St. Louis. Okay, so if you take those things out from what the information that I got, that when they took those jobs out or diminished those jobs, they took something like 30,000 jobs out of the city of East St. Louis, just out of the area, period. So if nobody put those jobs back, the community don't have a tax base. They don't have people that's putting money back into the community. So therefore, people are leaving. When you pay attention, to the surrounding communities. Right now, I'm only talking about East St. Louis. I'm gonna talk about St. Louis in a minute because I can talk about St. Louis too. That's my home too. I mean, it's my stomping ground. You know what I mean? My family is there. Everybody's there. All right. So anyway, so when you take the tax base out of the city, then nobody's there. Okay? I come out of high school, 87. When I get to East Side, 84, we had 66,000 people in the city. 66,000 people was in the city in 1984. The maximum amount that we had was somewhere around 120,000 people in the city of East St. Louis. I got to go back and research that information and check the information again, but it was up there. We were considered one of the number one cities. I think we got number one city in the country, American city, at least once. So you take all these things out of the city, and what do you have? You don't have nothing. You leave it all barren, and so if you talk to any older people that are non-black from the area, most of them will tell you that they grew up in East St. Louis. Go to Fairview Heights, guys say, oh, we grew up, our house was on 15th and St. Clair, or 13th and St. Clair. Oh, let's toe down now. 13th and St. Clair. Then I had somebody say that I grew up on 60th and State, 62nd and State. Okay, so we have all these people who moved out. Their families moved out. So now what you have, you left with people who either can't afford to move to a $200,000 house, or you have people who just say, I'm comfortable here and I want to be here. So now you have all these derelict properties, and you have a lot of space that is unoccupied, and so it makes it seem like the city is just dead and gone. The city is unalive. I gotta say unalive. I can't say that other word. So I gotta say unalive. It seems like the city is just not have no life. That's what it seems like. However, if we pull the resources together and begin to spend our money with the people who have businesses there, the minority businesses anyway, I think we can revitalize that city. Now, if I go across the river, you'll see that North St. Louis is a little rougher than other parts of the city. You got parts of South St. Louis might be a little rough, a little rugged, but it's not as bad as North St. Louis. So North St. Louis is where you have the highest population when it comes to Black Americans. Okay, so they have the highest population when it comes to Black Americans, and they spend less of the city's budget in North St. Louis. Why is that? Why is that? Do they ever, or do they not want to revitalize the Black part of these cities? Do they not want to revitalize the areas where the minorities live? That's just a question. Let me do this.
You know, I hear a lot of people say that, you know, I have a photographer that can capture the shot that I need, but when they see the images in which we have, you know, it's almost like, why go anywhere else? When you want the right shot, come to the best. 5-Star Production.
So, I think we need to pool and put monies together to rebuild. We have to take our resources and spend it in the right places. Even if we're gonna have to start rehabbing some of these buildings in the minority community. Even if we have to start doing that, we have to start doing that. It's real estate. There are people who are very wealthy off of real estate. There are people who have generated a lot of monies off of real estate. It's called reinvesting in our community. But we will be upset if other groups of people come into our community and begin to and see it. Well, if other group of people come into your community and begin to revitalize it, you'll say that it's regentrification. Why come we can't regentrify our own communities? So you can start with like this if you want to just have your community itching like a skin itching. If you want to revitalize our community and try to make sure our community is good and well, why don't we begin to buy up our community? Why don't we begin to find funding that will help us rebuild our community? We have to do that. You know, you take a city like Cahokia. You look at Cahokia and say, well, you know, at one time we couldn't go to Cahokia and hang out like we wanted to. But now you can go out and hang out like you wanted to. But the businesses have moved out. How do you, before it get to the point where everything is just ran down, why don't we go and just buy up the community? We have to do that. Why don't we do that? Why don't we begin to spend our monies in the right places and start buying up the community? You know, it should be important that I'm not gonna say just go ahead and just put so much pressure on the people who come into our communities and open up stores and gas stations and fish places and stuff like that. We have to begin to have them to donate to the community. Why don't you donate to the community? Why don't you make sure that some of your proceeds of your profit go to places in the community? We have boys and girls events or youth events in the community, and why don't we have those people to invest in our community? I mean, you hear you making money. Why don't you invest in our community? Is that possible? I think it's possible. We just have to approach it the right way with the right type of paperwork. We have to approach it. I don't know. What y'all think? Y'all think it's doable? Do you think it's doable to be able to go and ask these people, these companies that come into our community to reinvest in our community? Y'all have businesses here. You want people to spend your money with y'all. Can you donate money to some of these youth events, these youth programs, to help us build great character for our children? So let's think about that for a minute. Can we get people who open businesses in our community to help reinvest in our community? Every section of the city, of every section of our community, there are different stores and different ethnic groups of people who come in and open businesses because they know that we spend money. We spend a lot of money. We spend money. It's ridiculous on the money that we spend. Especially if statistically they tell us that the average Black American, after they get paid, the check stays in the community only 6 hours. That's a horrible number. That's a horrible number. Just think about that for a second. As soon as you get the money, 6 hours, cash it, go get you something. You know, everybody go get something to eat, get some fish or something. Might go and buy an outfit. All of this is going to people outside of our community. I'm just saying. So why don't y'all think about that for a second? How can we pull our resources together? Because we have the resources. We have grant writers in our communities. We have people who can come and do marketing in our communities. We have people who can who do advertising and marketing. We have people who make sure that whether it's childcare, whether it's some after school programs, we run all of these things. How do we save the children? We have to be able to save the children. It's very important that we save the children. We talk about the children of the future, but from the looks of it, we probably is rough because we've lost probably almost one generation. We are at least one generation behind. At least one generation behind. Appreciate that, Bam. We at least one generation behind. How do we get past that? My generation, we consider Generation X. Yeah, we consider Generation X. So Generation X happened to be the generation that was supposed to save our community. Now we have a whole generation behind us, which is maybe my nephew age. Okay, maybe my nephew's age, maybe my child's age, and that particular age group was supposed to take us to the next level. It was very important that we make sure that that generation got to the position to get us to the next level. So these are the people who are the educators. We have a lot of educators in our generation, in Generation X. We have a lot of educators within the Greek organizations. We have a lot of educators. So we were supposed to take the children to the next level. For our young people, we have to get them into tech programs. We have to get them into marketing programs. We have to get them into the psychology, the medical fields. We have to get them into the science fields, the biologies, the physicists, into the science field. We have to do that because in order for us to be able to go to the next level, and the next level of competing with in the world, because it's all a competition. It's all a race. We keep trying to say that, it's not a race. It's not what it is. It's all a race. Let's think about that. It's all a race. And the race is our group of people are mesmerized by the entertainment. Our group of people are mesmerized by the music industry. Our children are. We have a group of people that, let me see if I can pull it up. And I don't want to mess nothing up, shit. But I'm gonna try to pull it up anyway. I'm gonna try to pull it up anyway. Let me see. Okay. I'm gonna try to pull it up anyway. Where we at? Yeah, I have to go to YouTube to pull this up, but I'm gonna pull it up anyway. Nah, that's not it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to pull this up. It's an old video. 221. Let me see. All right, let me see. Hopefully y'all can see this. Let me see. All right. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see. Y'all bear with me for a second. I got to make sure y'all can get this information.
That is recognition.
All right. So let me see.
Here is what sales psychologists have to say about selling to the Negro.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated.
Okay, hold on.
This need is a very real and important.
So y'all can see this. so y'all can see this.
Here is what sales psychologists have to say about selling to the Negro.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need
And
is
this
a very real and important.
Video was
It shows up
1954.
even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits. 3 habits in particular play a big part in every sales transaction. To begin with, most Negroes buy by brand. They ask for products by name. They're quick to turn down off-brands. Buying by brand, that's the first important Negro buying habit. Now for the second. The Negro buys good quality merchandise. Symbols of quality and prestige are very important to the Negro customer. This woman, for example, is buying fine crystalware. But she is also buying the admiration and approval of her friends and relatives. Listen to her thoughts.
My, isn't it beautiful? I can hardly wait to show it to Sally and Joan.
It's a well-known fact that many Negro customers are influenced by the opinions of others. What their friends may think of a certain item often decides whether or not the sale is made. So remember, the Negro buys quality merchandise. That's the second important point. And here's the third thing to remember when selling to a Negro customer. When he specifically asks for one thing, don't try to sell him something else. Don't try to switch him at the point of sale. If you do, he'll probably react something like this.
Doesn't he think I've got the money to pay for it?
The Negro resents being offered a substitute. He wants to be sold on quality, not price. The Negro buys by brand, he buys quality, and he doesn't like to be switched at point of sale. These are the keys to selling the Negro customer.
According to leading researchers, in proportion to population and income, Negroes buy more quality products than any other comparable United States group.
Unbelievable. Bam. That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You said, wow, this is old. That was 1954. That was 1954. 1954. 1954. That's crazy. 1954. Hmm? 1954, that commercial was made. They knew in 1954 that we like quality products, that we like to show off, that we want to have this attitude of I can spend my money here too. When we should have been focusing on building manufacturers. We should have been focused on trying to create our own industry. Right now, we finna go through this turmoil with China and Mexico and Canada. It will be great if we can create this industry where we manufacture something. Because in order to make money in the United States, you have to sell something. You have to be able to have a product to sell. And that's very important. You have to have a product to sell. Whether you believe it or not, you know, and some of us are doing well. Well, I ain't worried about what's going on in the hood. But some of our parents, our grandparents, sisters and brothers, or little cousins and aunties and all of these people live in these communities. They live in these communities. So we just can't just forget about them because they there. Everybody didn't move out. Everybody didn't go to run to the higher ground. Everybody didn't do that. So since we are here and we know the tricks that went on with America and what they were doing to the American black man in this United States of America, we know what was going on. But this is the thought pattern. This is the thought pattern behind the marketers and the people who try to figure out how to sell to black America. We have to create our own industry. The textile industry, because I like clothes, but the textile industry, we have to create our own manufacturing. We have to get into that, making our own clothes, making clothes that are sold by us. I don't care who buy them. But we have to be producers in this industry. That will be great if we are producers of some product in this particular industry. You know, if you want to go back to years back, we'll go back to civil rights era. That particular era was a good era for unity, but our approach was not that good. Our approach was, I'm not going to say even horrible, but it was at the point where we should have been focusing on spending our dollars somewhere else. I seen a clip the other day. They talked about the bus boycott. So we were so busy trying to ride on the front of the bus when we should have been creating our own bus system. See how they work? If we create our own bus system, then we won't have to worry about where we can ride on the bus. We put a lot of energy into, we want to ride on the front of the bus or ride wherever we want to ride on the bus. We want to be able to drink out of those water fountains, which the water was the same. We want to be able to drink, to put some of that real cold ice in our water, or in our Kool-Aid, or in whatever we were drinking. We want to be able to put that cold ice, which ice is the same temperature, in our water. And that's horrible. It's horrible. We do stuff based on because we want to be able to we want to be able to do things because somebody else do it. We want to be able to do that. For some reason, we want to be able to go and buy stuff out of your store, which your stuff that we buy out of your store goes to your community. We have to be able to make sure that the stuff that we buy and the stuff that we do go to our community. It's very important that we have stuff that goes to our community. See, I want to get this out the way because this very well can be the last time that they tell us that we can celebrate it for as on the calendar that we can celebrate Black history. We can celebrate it whenever we get ready to celebrate it. But I'm saying that they trying to not to make certain things, national holidays. They trying not to teach our children certain things. It's very important that we know this very well can be the last National Black History Day. We have to be able to redirect our funds. We have to be able to redirect our funds to go to certain places because we spend too much of our money with other people. These are facts. These are facts that we spend too much of our money in other places. We spend too much of our money in other places. So let's focus on trying to bring everything to the light to make sure that we enlighten the Black American community that there are things happening and our children, our youth are distracted by the music, the entertainment, and it's just a shame because for some reason we can't get back on track. We have to be able to get back on track. We have to be able to get back on track. Can we do that? Can we put ourselves in position to get back on track? Can we get ourselves in position to get back on track? That's my question to you. Is it possible? Can we do that? How you doing, Pam? How you doing, Bam? How you doing, Twin? I'm just saying, y'all. We have to be able to get our people back on track. And this is nothing against anybody else. Why is our community so off track, off balance? Because somebody has figured out psychologically how to manipulate us. Manipulate our areas. We have people have figured out how to manipulate our community. We marching, excuse me. We are marching. We are doing everything but withholding our resources. We are doing everything but withholding our resources. Anyway, I just came on here. I just felt like talking about that and talking about Black History, the end of Black History Month. Hopefully we figure out how to let me see. I gotta get out of there. Hopefully we figure out how to stay on point and stay focused and make sure that we take our community to the next level. We have a lot of educated people in our community. The Black woman is the highest educated in the country at this point. Take my hats off. I applaud you. I applaud the fact that Black women been holding the community down for a nice little minute now. And I appreciate that. And I gotta holler at y'all